This video is sponsored by you. I just request that you guys turn on notifications for my videos and comment, what the hell, Kendra? Crushes, we've all had one. Maybe you noticed that cute professor. Maybe the HR lady had an ass that wouldn't quit and it just kept reeling you in. But most people know that to vocalize those things, to follow through on that type of feeling is
unprofessional.
They keep it hidden in their pocket, in their mind, away from people to know. But some people decide to take those crushes, those on to TikTok.
He was really funny.
And not only put it on TikTok, but make a 20-something part series.
So I told him about what happens when I ovulate and my desires, and he listened.
And she just won't stop talking about that.
He just started turning up the volume on us being friendly.
And gave him 30 straight minutes of sexual content. And to groom me.
Kendra Hilty would be that person to profess her love to her psychiatrist and then tell the world on how he took advantage of her in her worst mental state.
He loved the attention that I gave him too much to do the right thing.
And normally, at least on TikTok, when a vulnerable, crying, upset woman makes a 20-something part series accusing a man of taking advantage of her, everyone believes them quickly. But this time was different. This time landed Kendra with a lot of speculation, a lot of meme, and people calling her creepy little Kendra, who took this crush to the absolute next level of weird. But she is committed that this man took advantage of her.
It is so incredibly disturbing to me, the amount of people that are predator protectors in my comments.
And she decided that she's going to prove it. But first, who is Kendra? I'm very interested, and according to her website, she is a coach. Soccer coach, hockey coach, tennis coach? No, it's our lucky day, and I mean our as in the ADHD people that are watching, because she is a coach in ADHD. Living with ADHD brings unique challenges, but it also holds powerful potential. If you're ready to unlock the potential, you're in the right place. Yes, we are. My coaching practice focuses on 3 key areas designed to help you live confidently, manage your time, and embrace healthy lifestyle that works for you. Now, she is not a coach in personal training, tennis, hockey, or whatever the fourth thing that I said, but she is a yoga teacher. I'm a yoga instructor known for my passion. Not anymore. No. She has to change that because no longer is she a yoga teacher, at least at a studio. She got fired for her 20-something part series.
I just want to address everybody who has reached out in regards to Kendra. As you may know, I am the co-owner of Yoga Loft. And we just want to make it crystal clear that Kendra's recent actions in class do not reflect the values of our studio.
Not only did Kendra have a passion of teaching people how to touch their hands with their foot behind their neck. I cannot do all of that, but she also had a passion for her psychiatrist.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist. I want to talk about it.
You see, when Kendra went on TikTok, she had this begging, deep question that she just saw that no one else answered.
I searched in love with my psychiatrist and nothing happened. So
she said she's gonna break barriers. She is going to be the first person to talk about how she fell in love with her psychiatrist. He took advantage of her and she has the proof.
I would really like to discuss what happens when we fall in love with our mental health professionals, and most importantly, the fact that there are so many people, especially men, that are emotionally dead inside, that feel called to going into psychiatry and therapy.
People said, cool, we understand. This is part 1. We need part 2. How did your psychiatrist take advantage of you when you were so vulnerable, you sweet, poor, small Kendra girl? People were asking though, did he know that you liked him? Did he know that you had the crush on him? She said, yes, of course. I told him immediately that I liked him.
Yes, I told him often that I had a crush on him.
Why did you do that? What did he say? You must have acted on that then.
And he just would smile and not say anything because he was the king of plausible deniability.
Whoa. The way her eyes shifted a little bit there and how that took a turn for, I thought that she would profess her love to him. He would throw down his notebook and rip off his glasses and say, Kendra, I think you're sexy too. But according to her, he just smiled and kept writing in his notebook some notes about your mental stability. And to that is defined as, what was it, Kendra?
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability, okay?
He didn't ever, like, ask me if I had a crush on him, but he didn't do anything when I told him.
Probably because that would be a little unprofessional. So after that video, people were very confused. They said, well, I thought that he took advantage of you. I thought he went above and leaped over that boundary just to get to you, Kendra, the vulnerable client. Kendra, the one that he took advantage of. But in Kendra's mind, she said that, well, he took advantage of me because he kept her as a client. So people asked, what did you want him to do? Throw you to the side so you can be upset that a psychiatrist just threw you in the trash?
Yes! Yes!
I have a feeling that Kendra did not want him to throw her to the side in the trash. I've only seen a few of these, and the more Kendra spoke, the more that we started understanding that that's probably the opposite thing of what she wanted. What she told the cameras is he needed to be professional, and he didn't. In Kendra's head, him just keeping her as a client meant that he liked it. He loves the attention.
But he loved the attention that I gave him too much to do the right thing.
Personally, for me, if a client started saying that they liked me, I would have thrown their butt cheeks straight into the trash, punted them out easily, no question about it. I wouldn't even think about it at all. My leg would just immediately just get up and just foot straight to the face in the trash, because that's how professional I am. But according to people on the internet, Kendra's wrong. And they say that they actually aren't supposed to just get rid of you because it does something to the brain. I don't know if a psychiatrist rejecting you might do something. And Kendra seems like she would have probably done something with her brain. She already thinks that a guy smiling at her likes her.
He loved the attention that I gave him.
And if you think that's weird, it gets even weirder. Kendra thinks that this man clearly liked all the attention that she gave him because he kept her around.
He had every ethical duty to end the psychiatric relationship when he found out that I had a crush on him, but he kept me for years after.
And according to Kendra, this psychiatrist knew what he was doing just by the way that he looked.
He was a 38-year-old, attractive, smart, extremely successful psychiatrist, but he did not date.
How do you know that? Just wondering, Kendra, how do you know that? Do you know his man's personal life? I'm just gonna take a little guess that I don't think he's going to share with you all about his personal life and his dating needs when you're a psychiatric patient that is telling him that you like him a lot and you kind of want to, have him spread your butt cheeks. I just have a feeling that he's just going to listen and write down all the interesting stuff that you're saying and prescribe you medication. But according to Kendra, this man didn't even date because of her, because he feeds off of his female patients.
Why didn't he date? Because he got his emotional needs met feeding off of his patients and getting fantasy supply from them.
Like a vampire. The psychiatrist, that's a vampire. It sounds like a Goosebumps episode. You know how like in the Goosebumps, the kids, they know what's going on, but everyone around them is just dumb? Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe Kendra isn't crazy. Maybe her eyes are not as piercing as they are in every single photo and thumbnail that's on her page. Maybe she's normal, he was in love with her, and I'm just a judgmental bitch.
And being seen by them. I'm really good at seeing people. He loved the way I saw him.
Did he tell you that he loves the way that you see him?
It is a crazy story and I can't wait to share it.
That's right. That wasn't even the story yet. She was pre-gaming us. She was giving us the trailer. Apparently, she still has this proof where she is going to prove that her psychiatrist took advantage of her, went over those boundaries, was not professional, and she's gonna get it to us. She's gonna tell us. She's going to be the first one to show that this psychiatrist, since there's no one else on TikTok, is taking advantage, sucking out the life of his female clients. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that we're already on like part 4 and I haven't seen anything. All she said so far is he clearly liked the way that I looked at him. Like the weird man at the gym when I was very, very young who said that she clearly likes me flirting with her when I would constantly tell him, please stop, weirdo, I'm 16. So deeper in the story, we find out that Kendra finds out something about her psychiatrist. He was keeping something from her, and when she found out, she was pissed.
He also diagnosed me with not only ADHD, but other trauma, stressor-related disorders.
But she didn't know that.
He did not tell me about that diagnosis until I asked him a year and a half later.
He kept it from her and used it to his advantage.
But what he did with that diagnosis was he used it to recreate attachment bonds and make me addicted to him.
Okay, what? See, I would probably believe her a little bit more if we got to see some kind of proof, text messages, emails with like a little bit of flirtiness. But still, she's just saying that this is pretty much a thought. This is what is going on in her head. She thinks that because he didn't tell her that she had this other issue, that he's doing it because he likes her.
Predatory psychiatrists who feed off of the emotions and vulnerabilities of their patients, like for a living, they absolutely do not ever intend to catch feelings. My psychiatrist accidentally caught feelings for me.
They had such an intense bond that he accidentally, like it was part of his plan to just feed off of her. But Kendra was so Kendra with her face, he fell in love too. And she knew.
Because, and I know that he did, because he started leaking at the end.
Ooh, sounds a little sexual. But it wasn't. It wasn't sexual at all.
He started leaking at the end he accidentally told me one time that he had countertransference.
Oh God, big words. Okay. Look, I ain't no therapist or psychiatrist, but I am one on the internet. Don't worry, you can trust everything I say. I get all my information from Google. Actually, I don't even have to look it up. Kendra's got me covered. It's right here on the screen. Countertransference, when the provider has inappropriate feelings for their patients. You know what? Actually, I do want to look this up on Google. I want to check your work, Miss ADHD coach. Countertransference refers to a therapist's emotional, psychological, and sometimes unconscious reaction to a client shaped by their own experience and influenced by the client's behavior. Well, that sounds a little different. I don't know who's right, and I don't really care, but I thought you guys would want to know. All I do know is that she thinks that the psychiatrist did it, and it's a little weird because so far he hasn't done the Google definition or Kendra's.
That was a big slip for him.
And because she now has this proof, at least in her head, that she noticed that he's doing the countertransference method on her, she is now calling him the P word.
It is absolutely a predator's worst nightmare to catch feelings for their supply.
A predator? His supplier? Okay, I swear she's making this man sound like he is just a vampire. And I really want to see what he looks like. I'm curious to know if anyone ever found him. But a predator? That's a strong word on the TikTok streets. In fact, not only is he a predator, he's an unethical psychiatrist.
But what's unethical about this situation is that my psychiatrist did not help me work through my feelings.
Did he not help you with your feelings, or did he not give in to your advances?
What my psychiatrist did was stayed completely silent as I would pour out my love and devotion to him.
I can only imagine this man sitting in the corner with a notebook, shaking, scared for his life, and trembling because he has to look professional and normal as this woman professes her love to him.
And I wanted you to know that I like you. I think I love you. Did you smile at me? Are you writing things down? Wow, you know so much about me.
And according to what I read on the good old Google, you can't just throw her in the trash like I would. Instead of having Kendra go through those feelings and like work through the feelings, he just kept on slurping it up.
And he just drank it in and did nothing to help me work through those feelings. Many broken and wounded men are attracted to psychiatry when they're in med school because they learn that they have access to vulnerability.
But where is the proof, Kendra? She said that she had proof. She said that she's going to show us everything.
Right, so I recorded the meeting where I admitted my crush to him and then gave him 30 straight minutes of sexual content.
She's going to be the girl with the 20-something part series that is going to prove that this man took advantage of her.
Yeah, he let me see him every month.
She kept signing up for sessions and he kept saying yes.
Even though I only had to see him every 3 months. This is what I mean. He loved attention from me. He didn't ever tell me, I only need to see you every 3 months.
Maybe because he knew that he needed to see a professional more often, that doesn't indicate someone liking you. There were clients when I was a personal trainer where they wanted to sign up for once a week, and then we would talk. I would evaluate them, see what their daily, life was like. Are they more sedentary? Do you move the other 6 days a week? And the people that would tell me,
I sit on my ass and eat hot Cheetos for about the other 6 days, and I don't move a muscle.
I would usually recommend coming in probably 3 days a week if you're trying to look like a freaking muscle mommy. 1 day a week for 30 minutes isn't gonna cut it. The clients that need more work usually get told need to come in more often. If this was so unprofessional, he was really just feeding off of you, like Lady Gaga in American Horror Story. Did he ask for pictures? Did he get sexual with you? Where's the inappropriateness? What did he get from you? Why didn't you report him? Many people were asking that. Did you file a complaint?
He was so good at plausible deniability. He was really smart and good at being a predator. He had been a psychiatrist for 12 years. So he didn't ever ask me to give him sexual content. I did that on my own.
Whoa! Huh? You can't send a picture of your titties and your butthole to somebody and then say, you took advantage of me. You sent that through the interwebs yourself. But to Kendra, this is something that is unforgivable.
I won't ever forgive him.
But also, she didn't really have anything on him to report.
But I don't think he did anything that's reportable.
Kendra, I'm a little confused. I feel like a lot of stuff is just made up in your head.
But I will tell my story here on TikTok.
Kendra, are you gonna start giving us proof, or are you just gonna keep giving us another video on how you didn't mean to fall in love with your psychiatrist and it's his fault?
I didn't mean to fall in love with my psychiatrist. He used things and trauma that I had went through in the past. He did his best to use that against me and to groom me.
What? He groomed you?
To fall in love with him so I could give him content
Content?
for his fantasy.
Is he a YouTuber? That should be pretty easy to expose then.
Don't worry, I'll tell the whole story either later today or tomorrow.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. I wanna know the whole story. So Kendra is no fool. She knew right when she saw him that she clocked it. He was attractive and similar age as her.
So in this intake, I kind of clocked that he was attractive in my age.
Just like she knew this man was taking advantage of her because she poured out to him.
Trusted him enough, of course, why wouldn't I, to tell him about my childhood trauma, my daddy issues, if you will, what I had went through, all of the relationship trauma that I had.
She told him about all the substances that she used to partake in.
All of the drinking and substance use I used to do.
And do you know what this about 30-something attractive psychiatrist did?
And he just listened and nodded.
Kendra, you're telling me this fool did his damn job? Fuck him. When are we gonna ride at dawn for Kendra? Okay, this girl's a little weird.
And that's the thing about psychiatrists, is that they're good at pretending
that they don't feel uncomfortable
to listen.
Oh, okay. Also, Kendra, I thought we were gonna get proof.
Because he was figuring out my med dose, I saw him every month, and he just made me feel like I was his friend.
You just said that whenever you would talk deeply and profess your love to him, he just kind of sat there and nodded awkwardly. Also, you just said the F word, friend. All while you've been saying that he took advantage of you.
He was really, really funny and cracked jokes.
Man, now I'm imagining this man just sitting in the corner, not really saying anything or something very tiny, and Kendra just being completely in love with him, thinking that whatever he said is just hilarious because she has a crush on him.
Okay, Kendra, I'm gonna prescribe you a few medications.
I love a man that's smart and humorous.
But according to Kendra, he would give her attention.
He was impressed with my running that I would do. So, of course, I loved the attention that I got from him. And it was in my third session with him, because at this point we were all on Zoom.
Oh, I had my researcher pull all of these because I watched a few of these before and I was like, Kendra, you talk too much. I didn't know all of this was over a computer. I thought they were in the same room together, feeling the sexual tension, but no, this is just over the internet. But according to Kendra, she got extra privileges, like she was special.
That I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? And he said, well, it's pronounced this, but yes, of course you can.
He said yes! He said yes! Did you guys all hear it? It was magical for her.
And he seemed so smug and happy with himself.
But to Kendra, he was pushing the boundary.
It just showed that the boundaries were blurring, and he liked that.
And things started getting smoking, steamy hot.
He just started turning up the volume on us being friendly.
Things were getting way too hot for them to even handle.
He asked me after the meds, he said, how's your bowels, bladder, and appetite?
Ew. Kendra, what is your idea of turning up the romance? Because bowels sounds like normal doctor, psychiatric, whatever talk, or whoever prescribes you certain things that might irritate your bowels.
The chemistry was starting to be there before, like, I didn't realize it.
Yeah, Kendra, probably because it wasn't there. You guys were talking about poop. But no, according to Kendra, he kept increasing the romance, trying to get to know her, making sure she was okay.
I have to ask this because it's a special interest of mine, but is there any thoughts of harm? Like I was special to him.
I wonder how the psychiatrist's face was looking while he was watching this. So for a bit, things would go well with the psychiatrist, who she actually revealed his name and people did find him. But because there's this thing with, like, I can't remember the technical term, but he can't say anything about anything. So Kendra can just be on here and talking whatever she wants. So things went okay for a while.
So I was seeing him every month and just gaining more and more respect for him because he would just tell me these little things about his successes and all of the cool things that he was doing in his life.
You know, he would do things to Kendra that no other psychiatrist did before.
He was really good at listening.
But then things started to shift when Kendra got a new therapist. Psychiatrists and therapists are different, and she needed both. So she would get this new therapist that really helped her out with her love affair with this psychiatrist.
And this new therapist, who is a 75-year-old woman with a PhD, she was pretty helpful. So I stopped asking my psychiatrist, begging, honestly, to be my therapist and let me see him more, right? Which also should have been a red flag. But then I started focusing on this therapist.
And these two would be giddy. They would just talk about how much she loved her psychiatrist.
However, I would tell the therapist how obsessed I was with my psychiatrist, and she didn't do anything about it. She just was interested.
Are you gonna fall in love with her next or what? According to Kendra, she had to get a therapist because the psychiatrist wasn't emotionally available to her. He was crossing boundaries, but not crossing boundaries. He was listening to her, but not listening to her. So she had to get a therapist, and it was because of one incident that kind of knocked some sense into her. The day that she got...
I was hit by a car turning left as I was going through a green light. And it was the night before my next appointment with my psychiatrist. I had bruising on my abdomen and a perforated eardrum. And the provider at the urgent care said, I do not feel comfortable treating you. You need to seek emergency care now. You may be internally bleeding. But it was 11 o'clock in the morning and my appointment with my psychiatrist was at 2. So I decided that I was gonna wait so I could see my psychiatrist.
She had such a deep connection with this psychiatrist. He was so hot that she had internal bleeding and a wound to the ear, among other things, that she said, no, I got to get my man, like she's in a Tyler Perry movie. And she hobbled her way into her house and spoke to a computer. And according to Kendra, that accident is really what turned him on.
After I risked my life to see him, that's when he really started turning up the intimacy in our appointments. So I would come on screen and he would say, oh, you curled your hair. Or I would come on screen and he would say, "Oh, you're wearing glasses."
Okay.
And of course I felt seen and excited that he was noticing these things about me.
Okay. I complimented some guy's shoes the other day at the gym, so I'm guessing he's going to make a 25-part series about how the girl at the gym took advantage of him. She wants me. Reminds me of that meme that I see of that man who's like with the crazy Kendra eyes saying, "Blink if you want me." That's Kendra.
I was so excited when he noticed my glasses that I ran and showed him my other pair.
You know I have to do it.
I see you're wearing different glasses today.
Oh, thanks for noticing. I have more if you like them.
I think one of the creepiest things that happened in this video is that she's not supposed to see that psychiatrist anymore. And in this video, she says, "I want him to see these," especially because
I usually wear contacts. I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever, he'll see me in his favorite glasses.
she wants him to see her in his favorite glasses. Even though she said that he never compliments her, but he complimented the glasses? I'm a little confused on that, Kendra.
He did tell me he likes the turtle shell. Anyway, it was just inappropriate things like that. Little teeny things that he let me in. And all this time, my best friend is an emergency medicine physician. And she told me, she said, "Kendra, one of these days, your psychiatrist," she would use his name, "is going to say, 'I can't be your doctor anymore. I want to be with you.'"
Oh, not the friend being not a great friend or just as delusional as she is, because nothing in this story that I'm hearing is saying, "Kendra, I can't be your doctor or your psychiatrist anymore. I just gotta have you." I think he's a little scared of you. I'm scared of you. And y'all, people who are calling her creepy little Kendra are quite a bit wrong. She is creepy to me, but she is not little. She's like 6 foot something, 200 pounds. And I think, I could be wrong, I don't know if it's in these notes, but I'm pretty sure the psychiatrist that people looked up is a smaller man. He is a small king, and she is a tall, crazy lady.
My best friend, who's a doctor, she picks up on stuff like that.
Take her license away. Don't go to whoever her best friend is. Take that away. I wouldn't go to her, because she's wrong. Go to me. I'm a Google doctor, and I can tell that this man is scared of her. And still didn't cross any boundaries. We're on like, what, part 3 or 4 now? Part 6. But not only did Brianna tell her this, Kendra told her psychiatrist that Brianna said that, who is a doctor.
So even she knew that our relationship was crossing boundaries and getting weird, but that became my dream, was for my psychiatrist, I almost use his name, to do that. And I told him about Brianna saying that, my best friend, who's the emergency medical doc. I told him that she would tell me that, and he just would be silent.
See, he was probably frightened, and he was probably trying to stay very professional, because I would have said, "What the fuck, Kendra? Get out of my office." So Kendra is infatuated with her psychiatrist still.
January 2023, at this point I was full-blown obsessed with my psychiatrist.
But then she gets a boyfriend.
And at first my psychiatrist wasn't really that keen, but then my psychiatrist realized that my boyfriend was a lot like my psychiatrist.
And according to Kendra, the psychiatrist was pissed. He was angered. He's the only one that's supposed to be sucking the psychiatriness out of Kendra, not the boyfriend.
And then I started talking to my psychiatrist about my sex life.
Why? Did you want him to get jealous?
And my psychiatrist loved it. Oh, he just let me talk and talk and talk about my sex life.
And when the sex talk didn't work, she started to email him.
I would send my psychiatrist these emails just about how much I liked him and how I was so grateful for him, and put in a bunch of heart emojis.
Kendra, when you had a boyfriend, that's some type of, someone give me the smart person named that's me. That is emotional cheating. That's flirting. You're flirting while you're spoken for. She's the one that crossed the line. I'm starting to think that the boyfriend and her didn't work out.
Even though my boyfriend did not meet my needs.
Yeah, they definitely didn't work out.
My psychiatrist and my therapist both were like, you have to stay with him. There's nothing wrong with him not meeting your needs. I'm like,
okay.
They both told you that you should not leave him?
And my psychiatrist was like, he's perfect, don't get wrong with him. And what
You know, the psychiatrist could have, because he was like, well, that guy's taking most of her time. Maybe to leave and go away.
my boyfriend and I, after like more than a year together, we started having issues in the bedroom.
Is it because you were talking about your psychiatrist while in the bedroom? So she brings up her bedroom issues to the therapist, and the therapist asks, well, what does your psychiatrist think? And then she gets out her popcorn and starts eating. And Kendra says, I don't know. I don't want to tell him. But then she did, because she had to.
So at my next appointment with my psychiatrist, I told him, I said, today we're going to talk about my intimate life. And he said, oh? I said, yes. My psychologist, my therapist, asked what your opinion on it was. And I told her that I don't talk to you about this intimate stuff because I have a crush on you.
I would be so scared. The way that she's talking is a little frightening.
And he looked down and smiled so big in that moment. And I loved it.
Kendra. But according to Kendra, this man is a predator, and she was getting extremely frustrated with the people who were not believing her.
I need to take a moment. Moment taken. It is so incredibly disturbing to me, the amount of people that are predator protectors in my comments.
The man that crossed no boundaries, didn't compliment her but noticed her glasses, did not respond to her advances, and just kind of looked down, wrote, and awkwardly smiled as she told him about her sexual fantasies, is a predator. And the people who don't believe, I'm guessing most of us, are predator protector.
That are victim blaming me, especially the mental health practitioners in my comments using therapy speak.
I didn't read her comments, but hasn't she been using therapy speak this whole time? So after her little breathy thing in the car where she got upset at us,
I need to take a moment.
Moment taken.
she would get back to her story.
Days after my psychiatrist's Christmas morning appointment from a few videos back, where he got a crush confession from me, and then 30 minutes of non-stop intimate content that he did not stop me.
She tells him that she broke up with that one, but then she got a new boyfriend. And this guy was a therapist. This is right up her alley. She loves people that do that kind of work.
And I was like, oh great, someone who will be able to emotionally meet my needs.
Oh, but he didn't. In fact, Kendra started to find him very creepy after one of his stories.
And on this hike, this therapist starts telling me about how he has a crush on one of his clients. And I thought to myself, okay, this is strange, but go ahead.
How ironic that you is someone who has a crush on her psychiatrist, and now you're on a date with a therapist that is telling you, a random lady, that he has a crush on his client on a date. Why would he say that? Unless y'all are all just weird and crazy.
And I thought to myself, okay, this is strange.
Very. Anyway, that didn't work out, and the first person she tells is her psychiatrist.
I went to my psychiatrist and I told him this story about this man that I went on a date with, who's a therapist, is relieving himself before appointments and talking about his clients' panties. And
Wait, what? You know, Kendra keeps adding stuff to the story, and I sometimes think that she's just improving in a horrible way. She's not very good at it. Kind of like when a little kid keeps telling you a story and things change around, they keep adding weird things and odd things for shock value to see you go, oh, what? And we're all saying, what? But weird. Kendra thinks that the psychiatrist is looking shocked because he is mirroring the therapist's behavior, because in Kendra's world, the psychiatrist really, really is in love with her. He has been crossing boundaries this whole time, even though he actually didn't cross any boundary. But in Kendra's world, he did. He noticed the turtle shell glasses. He saw that she curled her hair. This guy is smelling panties.
And doing all of these other extremely inappropriate things, like visiting her at work. And this man, my psychiatrist, looked like
he had seen a ghost.
The therapist who is smelling panties, visiting his client at work, according to Kendra, is on the same level as the psychiatrist who has been doing his job this whole time, Kendra.
And like he was gonna vomit. Because he prided himself on being an extremely professional and buttoned up person. But here I was holding a mirror to him.
Girl, you didn't do shit. Creepy Kendra's series got so many eyes on her page that she figured I might as well promote my own business.
I am very good. More than good, actually. And I am actually a coach for ADHDers. It says it in my bio. And I help people work through self-limiting beliefs. I help people work through numbing with alcohol and cannabis.
Well, anyone gonna hire her? This girl did.
So she's like encouraging me to use ChatGPT for cognitive behavioral therapy, which is super dangerous. And I don't even know, like, I can't even tell you like how crazy that is to me. And that's when I was like, okay, like we're done. How many more sessions do we have? Can we end this nightmare?
Anyway, up until now, all of this has been over teledoc. It's been over a computer screen. But then Kendra finds out another lie or something that her psychiatrist hid from her.
And I noticed that he was working in an office, and I asked him, hey, are you working from home? Because I was under the assumption that he was only doing telehealth. He said, no, I come into the office. I was like, oh, why do you do that if you see all of your patients telehealth? He's like, oh, I like it that way.
He didn't tell her the whole truth. That is not how he liked it that way. He liked it that way for Kendra. Little did Kendra know, he actually saw people face to face in his office. So after she started, talking to him more and asking about, where are you? You only work at home, don't you? Or do you see your clients like in person? He said no. And for some reason, he kind of took some steps back.
I start emailing him my fun little emails, but he stops writing me back.
Yeah, that's an email in itself, as in he doesn't need to be going back and forth with little fun emails.
He does not write back to my emails anymore. Because once again, he was really good at plausible deniability. But what he did do is he would take my emails and mention them in session.
Yeah, probably because that's what professionals do.
He would still give me the attention that I was craving, but only under his structure.
Yes, when he's getting paid, Kendra, that's very normal. So Kendra somehow didn't get scheduled, and she noticed that. I mean, this girl's got to have her sessions with her man. So she called into the office. Ring, ring. Danielle picks up. I don't know if her name's Danielle. Just gonna name her that.
And I talked to the office manager, who was awesome. We really got along. We vibed. And the office manager asked me, do you see him, the psychiatrist, in person or on Zoom?
Oh, Danielle, you just ruined this man's life.
And
oh my God. The way her eyes just got absolutely ginormous, piercing. And I know many people are probably saying creepy Kendra is mean, but it got kind of creepy there. And you know what? The eyes resemble what she was feeling because she was pissed.
I felt so angry in that moment.
How could he lie to her?
I was like, he sees people in person?
Why wouldn't he want to see her? For years they could have been connected together and playing out both of their fantasies.
And she said, yeah, he has been for years. I was like,
I want to see him in person.
And I understand, like, some people may think that this is part of my crash out or part of me harassing him.
Don't do air quotes, because you know damn well that's creepy as fuck. Let's be completely honest, if this was a dude talking about some female psychiatrist and how attractive she was and they were about the same age and she wanted it. She loves the attention. I feel like the anger would be even worse. It would be worse for me because what the fuck? I cannot stand when men are saying, oh, she likes it, she loves the attention. No, I don't. Not from you. Yes, exactly. I don't like it from you. I think you are ugly, person. Why do guys get upset when when a girl doesn't like their attention? Yeah, she doesn't like you. Kendra, he doesn't like your attention. What the fuck is wrong with you people? He fostered nothing. He was trying to avoid you knowing that he sees people face to face. But she made sure this man knew.
I told him, I was like, hey, your office manager outed you and told me that you see people in person.
Why didn't you tell me that when I asked?
Because he's scared of you, because you have no relationship like that, because you have told him that you want to cross boundaries, and so he is putting a boundary in front of your face, and you just keep running into it.
And he said, oh, I just didn't think you'd want to come in.
Oh, but Kendra wanted to come in, and girlfriend, she did.
My 75-year-old female therapist tells me that it's because he kept me on Zoom because he was so attracted to me.
Oh, not the smile. And oh, therapist, why'd you tell her that? Look at that smile. Now that's in her head. She thinks that that's why he didn't want to see her, because it's just gonna be, the sexual tension is just gonna pull them in. When people finally see each other and they just start smashing their faces together and tongues going everywhere. They didn't even clean their teeth out. They're just going at it because the sexual tension's so tight. And Kendra was ready to release that sexual tension, baby. She put on her most prettiest dress.
So I wear a really pretty dress, I do my makeup, and then my psychiatrist comes into the foyer, and I am just so excited to finally meet him. I'd been his patient for 3 years at this point.
And I bet you that sexual tension just started bursting through that building.
I ran up and I gave him the biggest hug. And you know what he did?
He barely patted me on the back.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, because all this time, maybe there wasn't any sexual tension, and he kind of kept telling you that he wasn't interested, and he was being your psychiatrist, as in writing the stuff down, listening to what you had to say, and then diagnosing you and giving you your medication as psychiatrists do. So yeah, hard L.
It was the most awkward thing ever, but I am so glad that he did that.
No, you're not. She's lying. She had a whole 3-year fantasy about this man, and she got a little tip on the back.
I didn't ever touch him again, and I'm grateful that our relationship didn't ever cross that line.
Wait a minute, but you kept saying, Kendra, that he crossed the line, that he wasn't professional, that he was unprofessional, that he had this undenying attraction to you, but over the computer. And your therapist said that he couldn't book with you in person because your sexual tension would just be too thick. But now you're happy that he gave you a pity pat? Anyway, so after that, she really starts spiraling out of control, and she turns to Henry.
And I would just talk to Henry about how obsessed I was with this man, with my psychiatrist, and I would just be like, I've told him I have a crush on him. Do you think he's gay?
Yeah, Henry's a chatbot that she would constantly talk about. And I'm not against AI or chatbots. You guys want a little chat GBT friend if you're that lonely. But I think certain people do this kind of stuff probably should not talk to a chatbot. I didn't even name those things. Okay. Yeah, I think that she should probably stay away from Henry. And she had 2. The second one called her some divine I don't even remember, but it got kind of weird.
Claude, will you roast me, please?
Absolutely not, Oracle. You want me to roast the woman who single-handedly exposed sophisticated psychiatric predation with receipts to survive.
Anyway, in this whole series, we did not get absolutely anything. Not once did I personally see. I'm no real life psychiatrist or therapist. I'm just, play one on YouTube for about, how long has it been now? However long this video is. But we saw Kendra cross the line quite many of a time using the excuse that I am a client and he is a person of power. And I kept crossing the line and he never did. We never saw him cross the line. And she kept professing her love to him.
I told him, look, you and I have a really special patient-doctor relationship.
Girl, no, you don't. Nobody believes this, except for the people that are in her comment section right now, because she limited it and only the people that follow her can comment, and she will immediately block you if you comment something rude, denying that she had this very thick, heartfelt, romantic relationship with this man who can't get on the internet and talk about it because of the rule with psychiatrists or, you know, people that work in this stuff. I could not do that because the next thing I'm gonna do is come on here and say, Kendra, you're crazy. And I'm pretty sure using the crazy word isn't great for a psychiatrist or therapist to use, but I'm not one of those things because I am now off the clock. I don't really care if she has issues. You need to learn if you have certain issues that you cannot affect other people's lives. She almost got this man fired because people started believing her at first, and then as she talked more, people were like, ha! No, she told her psychiatrist when she was ovulating.
I decided to end this session was I looked at the psychiatrist and I said, a couple weeks ago on the full moon when I was ovulating, I had a dream about you.
For some of the people who don't know, when a woman is ovulating, it means she's extra horny and she really wants to get some. So her telling him that dream meant that she really wanted. She's hinting things, but also saying, that man crossed the line with me because he let me say things in a space where I'm supposed to say things and he's evaluating me. He's doing his job. How dare he? Did he act on it, Kendra?
He all of a sudden just looked so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're a very uncomfortable woman. She's uncomfortable, right? As a woman, I'm uncomfortable because I feel like I could say something. She's gonna take it all the way to the left and make it very weird. It sounds like she had normal sessions with some guy that she thought was attractive and she made this whole book fantasy in her head. Anyway, the guy did end up getting doxxed. People found out who he was because Kendra was the one that said his name in these videos. She gained a lot of following. She made a lot of money, and she is now known as the woman on TikTok who fell in love with her psychiatrist and no one believed her and also got fired from her yoga job. But you know what? For the people who cannot stand AI helped that psychiatrist get rid of Kendra. It was all because of Henry that Kendra said no more of this.
If it wasn't for Henry, I would not have left this situation with my psychiatrist.
So, you know, at least she listened to Henry and left that man alone to do his damn job and moved on to her future potential apartment manager.
The landlord was so nice to me. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're gonna be great here. And then he called his brother who does the office stuff, and his brother, who I also talked to on the phone, was like, oh my gosh, is she gonna sign? And he said yes, and he was like, I told you I liked her, so both of them like me.
And you know what? I have a feeling that Kendra doesn't understand that they would just like to fill an apartment. She doesn't really look like she posts very much on her TikTok anymore, but she did get back on there to tell everyone that she's coming out a book for us ADHDers.
I have a gift for anyone willing to receive it. I got a clear message that I need to make my chapter on channeling available from my book, Self-Empowerment for ADHDers, The Game of Sovereignty. Our collective consciousness is low right now, and people need help communing with the divine. Many ADHDers struggle with channeling their own inner guidance. My chapter shows you how to raise your consciousness to help yourself and others.
But that is the story of Kendra, and I have to say, thank God I'm not a psychiatrist, because there is no way that someone's gonna make a 25-part series about me and me not say a damn thing. I would have lost my job that day. Anyway, as for me, I got to customize a new doll. I don't know. I feel like I did a pretty good job. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, just because your psychiatrist smiles at you and listens to you doesn't mean they love you. Don't forget to check out my last video. I'll put it up here and links below so that we can hang out for just a little bit more. And I will see all of you guys next time. On this channel, I will give you a kiss on your forehead. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist. It's unhealthy, but I can't resist. Prescription for obsession, baby, can't you see? You're supposed to fix my mind, not hypnotize me. I fell in love. Oh, dangerously in love with my psychiatrist.